Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Melissa with Investment Yoga. Today we're going to be doing a Pilates sequence for our hips. I know we have a lot of tension in our lower body, and today we are going to work on that. So as we move along, know that you should do these poses at your pace and at your level. These are not supposed to hurt, and we're supposed to go slow, feel the pose, and that's really what helps us get those lean muscles that Pilates helps us achieve. So let's meet on our backs here. And let's take a few breaths. Just settling into the mat. Feeling our back fall towards the mat. Reducing that space between the lower back and the mat. And with Pilates poses, we always want to be feeling like we're scooping our core in towards our spine. Engaging that pelvic floor, which helps a lot of us, men and women alike. So we're scooping the belly in towards the spine, reducing that space, imprinting ourselves on the mat. And then release that. Just move your legs around a little bit. Go back to your natural. And let's do that again, bringing ourselves in towards the mat, reducing that space, feeling the engagement in our pelvic floor. And from here, we're going to go into scissors pose. So bring your hands alongside you and bring your feet up into the air. So from here, we're just going to sweep the legs back and forth past each other. We want to make sure that we're keeping our hip girdle on the mat and our back is also on the mat. So if you come down too far, you see my back will come up. We only want to go as far as our bodies allow us. You can make bigger movements as we move further into Pilates, but doing it the right way is a lot better than doing a bunch of them the wrong way. So go slow, and then let's just do some fluid movements now, back and forth. Continuing to breathe, checking in on that core. Is it engaged? Is your back imprinting on the mat? If it's not, just stop, reset, and begin again. 2 more here, nice. And bring your knees in towards your chest. From here, we're going to do single leg stretch. So you're going to keep your right leg in and bring your left leg out. You can bring it closer to the ceiling or closer to the floor, whichever level you're at. If you bring it closer to the ceiling, that's a little bit easier. So we're just switching sides. Left leg in, right leg in. You should feel that stretch in that thigh as you're pulling the leg in. If you'd like, you can bring your head up. You'll be engaging the core a little bit more. Or you can stay down and just stay here, feeling that stretch within your spine and feeling that stretch within your hips. 2 more. Nice work. And bring your knees in. Rest your head to the mat. Take a couple breaths. And you can bring your head side to side if you've created any tension in the neck from having your neck up. And next is single leg stretch. Or double leg stretch. So you're going to bring your legs in, and let's just do the legs first, and your legs will come out. Now, this is what is really important. So bring your legs only out as far as your body will allow. So if you bring your legs down here and see how my back comes up, that's not helping us. So start out closer to the ceiling with your legs, and you can move yourself closer to the floor if your body allows it. If your body starts to come up off the mat, bring it back up next time. Now let's bring our hands into it. So you bring your hands overhead while your legs are out, and hands to your knees when you come in. Arms out and in. So you'll feel this in your hips. You're working those hips and you're scooping that core. So in and out. And I hope you're shaking because I am. If this hurts your neck, bring your body back down. You can give yourself a few side to sides and continue with the knees. And let's do 2 more. In, arms reach out. Just try one with reaching your arms out if you can. And in, nice work. Bring those in. And plant your feet on the mat. Whew, take a couple breaths. You can windshield wiper your legs if that feels good. Now, sometimes that creates a little tension in our back as we're working on them. So take a couple breaths. We're going to engage that core again, pulling that belly button towards your spine, engaging the pelvic floor, imprinting on the mat. If I sound like a broken record, I'm sorry, but this is what will help us get that Pilates core. Everything is working from the core when we're doing Pilates, and we're working from that powerhouse. So we're really working hard, especially with our hips today. So from here, we're going to do single leg circles. So knees are bent like this. Bring your right leg up into the air. And now point the toe a little if you're able to, and flex it. Point and flex. Just see how that feels in your hamstring. Now point the toe and then turn the heel in towards your body. So you're turning your toes out and your heel in so you can see more of your heel. You should feel engagement on the inner thigh. So from here, we're going to take that leg and we're going to circle it towards the left and out and around. And so these single leg circles are super small, especially when we're first beginning. And as we're going, check in. Do you have engagement in the core? Is your back flat on the mat? I know a lot of people want to do these huge circles, but as you do these huge circles, watch my back. It comes off the mat, and all I'm doing is kind of pulling on the back, and I'm not engaging the entire muscle that I can. So again, tilting the leg out, bring it across the body and around. Exhale across the body, inhale around. You can even hold your leg if that feels better for you and get a little bit more control. Stop at the top. Check your posture. Heel is turned in. Toes are kind of pointing out, engaging that inner thigh. It's a really hard spot to work. I'm going to go the other way. This feels a little more awkward for some of us. But again, you can hold that leg. Check in on that core, pressing that mat with your back and feeling that strengthening in your hip. Nice work. 2 more. Keep going. And you can bring it in and out and set it on the mat. So we'll do it on the other side. We'll bring the left leg up into the air. Point and flex. Point and flex. A couple times, just feeling it at your own pace in your hamstring. And again, we're going to point the toe, turn the heel in towards the inner thigh, engaging that inner thigh. And we're going to, on an exhale, bring it across and around. And again, you can use your hand to glide it. And eventually you'll be able to do bigger circles, but the point is now is to keep that hip girdle on the ground, using that hip, engaging that core and pelvic floor. You can even feel it while you're doing these, the engagement there. And we all need the pelvic engagement more than we do in our normal daily life. So let's stop. We're going to switch directions. And again, you can use your hands as guidance because this way is a little bit more awkward for some of us. And feel more engaging that inner thigh. 2 more. Keep going. Good job. And plant your feet on the mat. Bring your feet to sort of the outside edges of the mat so your legs are wide. We're going to do a couple windshield wipers. So back and forth. Nice. This is a nice opener for our back. You can feel it come up the side and stretch that lower back where we often create tension. I recommend doing these every day. You can do these in bed. It's just a good break. Take an inhale and exhale, finding that Pilates pose, imprinting your back on the mat. Core is engaged, pelvic floor is engaged. We're going to do the corkscrew next. So bring your feet up into the air. Heels are together, squeezing the calves and inner thighs together. And we're going to go make some figure 8s in the air. So remember, pulling the core in and go slow. This is a lot of movement. Pulling the core in, back is flat, moving the legs into a diamond or a figure 8. So there's lots going on here. So you're squeezing your thighs, you're using your core, your hips are getting some stretching and strengthening here. And then stop in the middle, re-engage if you've lost it. C shape and pulling your core into your back. Heels are together, and we'll go and do the 8s the other way, which is kind of like crazy 8s because it is very awkward. But despite the fact it's awkward, it challenges you, your muscle memory, squeezing those thighs together. Awesome. Whew. One more. And done. Squeeze those legs into you. You can bring your body up into a ball shape, whatever feels good. Plant the feet again. Let's do windshield wipers. Oops. They're one of my favorite poses. From here, we're going to do crisscrosses. So you might have heard these called bicycles. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our hands behind our head in a little hammock, not pulling on the neck. And we're going to be bringing our right elbow to our left knee. Left to right. And I really want you to focus on these now. So go slow. Lift the upper body and twist. Feel the hip as you're bringing the leg up. So you got a lot going on, bringing that core to the floor, using that hip, engaging that abdominal, which is the obliques, which we don't get enough of course, sadly. Now that we got the pose down, I want you to keep the legs off the floor as you do the crisscross. So just bring your toe towards the mat. You can even touch it, but just don't set it down. Feel how you're getting a little bit more in the hips, a little bit more in the core, but still maintaining the control over the move. And last round. And bring yourself down. You can bring your head side to side. Sometimes your neck gets a little sore from that one. You can bring your legs side to side as well. Then pull your knees in and bring yourself up to a seated position. Bringing yourself up. Feet are in front of you. Sit up tall. Take a big inhale and exhale. Bring your arms out in front of you and curve the back while reaching your arms forward. This is called the spine stretch forward. So bringing yourself back up to straight. This is kind of an odd move, but you're reaching your arms forward while also pulling your core in towards your back. You're stretching the shoulder blades. So if you want to grab your hand up front, you can kind of feel a little bit more stretch in the shoulders. And bring yourself up. Bring your feet a little bit wider. You'll just feel a little bit different sensation. Arms are straight. Curving the back under. Reaching the arms forward. And back up. It's a small move, but it's a really nice move, especially for the lower back, which the lower back's attached to the hips. So a lot of tension comes between the two of them. And come up. Bring your legs a little bit wider. We're going to do the saw. So legs are out at a comfortable distance apart. Flex the feet, point the feet, flex. Just feeling that in your legs, your calves, just waking those up. And the saw is a movement where we bring our arms out. Your body is up. Crown of your head is reaching towards the sky. You're going to take your right arm on an exhale, bring it across towards your left toe, and your left arm's going to come back, and you're going to look towards that shoulder or that hand. Inhale to the center and twist. So you will feel this in lots of places. First of all, to the middle, you're going to feel it as you're using your oblique to turn yourself. You'll feel the stretching in the left side. You'll also feel stretching in the hip and the hamstring. To center. So this is a really easy move that you can do, and you can do this from a chair. You know, if you just sit in a chair and bring your knees out, it's just a really nice way to wring the spine out, get the spinal fluid moving, while also getting some stretching in the abs and in the hips and the inner thighs. You can bounce those out and bring them back together. Coming down onto your back. Taking a deep inhale and let it out. Inhale and exhale. Finding that pose again, pulling that belly button towards the spine, removing that space beneath your back to the mat. Your feet are a good distance away from your behind, and we're going to do bridge pose. So hands are alongside your body. You're going to push into the heels and push up. So you'll feel it in the hips. You're stretching. Your core is engaged. You should have a flat line from your chest up to your knees. And come back down one vertebrae at a time. On your next exhale, press into the feet. Coming up to that bridge, core is engaged. Imagine there's a block in between your legs. Squeeze your legs towards each other. You feel it in your inner thighs. You'll feel it more in your glutes. And come down. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, exhale. Press into the feet and come back up. Squeezing the legs together. Engagement in the pelvic floor. And back down. Nice job. Bring your knees in towards your body here. And rock and roll yourself up and back. And bring yourself around into tabletop position. So let's have a neutral spine here. Hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. We're going to do a couple cat-cows. So on an inhale, bring your belly towards the mat, gaze towards the ceiling, seat bones towards the ceiling. On an exhale, press into the mat, arch your back, pull your belly button towards the sky, tucking your hips under, and back up, dropping the belly. You can move the hips a little side to side, feeling extra stretch there. And exhale to cat. Do a couple more of these at your own pace. And then bring yourself down and back into child's pose. Knees come to the outside edges of the mat. Bringing your hands forward, touching your head down to the mat, side to side. Releasing your hips back, walking your hands forward. And as you breathe, on each exhale, try to bring your chest, release your chest towards the floor a little bit more. And bringing yourself back up. Come to a seated position, bringing your feet together into a butterfly position. So right now, this might be enough stretch for some of you. You can have your feet out further. You can bring them in closer, whatever is the most comfortable for you. This will be our last pose of today. If you would like a little bit more stretch, you can bring your body up, hands overhead, and begin to lean forward towards your legs, keeping a flat back. Keep that flat back for now because you're stretching through the back and down the glutes into the hips. And eventually you can start to curve your body over your legs if that feels like your body's calling for it. Couple inhales here and exhales. You can bring yourself up. You can fly away the butterflies if you like, or bring your feet out in front of you and just tap out the legs, whatever feels good to you. And that is what I have today for your hips. I hope that helped. I hope you feel a little less tension in the hips and the lower back. And let me know what worked for you, what didn't work for you. Drop me a comment below, and remember to hit the subscribe button so you get notifications of the new classes. Thank you, and have an awesome day.